Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're tackling a massive challenge that pretty much every IT organization is wrestling with right now. We're talking about how to take AI out of those unpredictable experimental black boxes and safely bring it into full-scale production. We're going to demystify enterprise AI scaling by looking at a seriously fascinating solution called Agent Fabric. Okay, let's dive right into this because we really have to talk about the sheer scale of what's happening out there. 3.7 tera tokens. That's the amount of AI the world's largest companies are already consuming every single day. Think about that for a second. This isn't some far-off future projection. This is literally happening right now. Organizations aren't just playing around in the experimental phase anymore. They are moving rapidly into production and relying on AI at a completely massive scale.
But all this incredible speed, it brings us to a really critical friction point. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. On one side, we have rapid parallel innovation. You've got customer service spinning up support bots, marketing generating content, developers writing custom agents. It's absolutely fantastic for speed. But on the flip side, because these agents live on completely different platforms with entirely different security guardrails, they turn into these massive, siloed, ungoverned risks. It creates a complete nightmare for IT, frankly, because you have innovation happening everywhere, but zero secure common layer connecting the whole shebang.
So how do we actually fix this? Well, here is our roadmap. We'll start with the enterprise AI dilemma, then move into discovery and AI governance. After that, we'll introduce a really cool concept called guided determinism, check out some real-world agentic processing, and finally wrap up with building the next-gen broker.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the enterprise AI dilemma.
So we've all run those cool proof-of-concept AI projects, right? Organizations have successfully done that, but now they are seriously struggling to maintain control and security as they push these initiatives into full production. And unfortunately, this problem is only going to get more intense. Industry projections are actually pointing to a 10-fold increase in the number and complexity of third-party and custom-built agents. I mean, if you think managing a handful of AI tools across your departments is tough right now, imagine multiplying that complexity by 10. The control problem is compounding rapidly.
Which brings us directly to the solution, Agent Fabric. You can really think of it as a unified control plane, inclusive of your existing infrastructure, used to discover, govern, and orchestrate AI agents seamlessly. It acts as that absolutely crucial, secure common layer, ensuring you don't lose your grip on governance while your teams continue to innovate at blazing speeds. Moving right along to Section 2, Discovery and AI Governance.
Let me ask you something. Do you actually know where all of your developers' AI assets live right now? For most IT leaders, the honest answer is no. And that's exactly why automating discovery is so vital. Agent scanners basically work quietly behind the scenes in 3 steps. First, they detect agents across various platforms. We're talking places like Amazon Bedrock, Azure AI Foundry, or Databricks. Second, they standardize all that wildly varied metadata. And third, they save them directly to a central agent registry. Boom. You instantly get a single source of truth for every agentic asset in your entire organization with absolutely no manual data entry required. Okay, so you found them. Now what? Well, you've got to govern them safely. The AI Gateway handles intelligent routing to send tasks to the right models, and token cost control to keep those budgets from exploding. But what's really fascinating to me here is the unified access feature. It gives your developers a single endpoint for every model your company approves. This literally eliminates the nightmare of managing dozens of individual API keys. You authenticate once into the gateway, and you're good to go. It's totally secure. Which brings us to Section 3 and one of my favorite concepts, introducing guided determinism. So how do we actually orchestrate these governed agents safely to solve real business problems? It's kind of a classic Goldilocks dilemma. On one hand, we have fully deterministic traditional automation. It's strictly hard-coded and completely predictable, but, let's face it, often way too rigid for modern problems. On the other hand, we have fully agentic AI. It's an incredible, magical black box, but it's unpredictable and, frankly, just a bit too risky to let run wild in a massive enterprise. We absolutely have to find a middle ground. And that middle ground is captured perfectly in this idea of bridging hard-coded certainty with the power of AI reasoning. It introduces this brilliant concept called guided determinism. Essentially, it allows your workflows to be agentish. You can define strict, hard-coded rules where you absolutely require 100% certainty, and then, and only then, you call on the creative reasoning of a large language model when you need it. This sweet spot gives enterprises the exact dependability, trust, and reliability they demand.
Let's ground this rather abstract concept with a super practical example. Imagine your standard IT support ticketing system. If the system detects a high-severity issue, like, say, an unauthorized login attempt from a foreign IP, that must be a fully deterministic process. It immediately triggers a 100% human escalation, zero guesswork. But if a user submits a low-severity ticket, like they just need a simple VPN password reset, guided determinism allows the AI to orchestrate the resolution, pull up the right articles, and fix it automatically. It's hard-coded safety perfectly mixed with AI efficiency.
Let's see this in action. Section 4, Real-World Agentic Processing.
Let's look at how this guided determinism actually translates into massive business value. There's this amazing success story shared by integration architect Shravan, where traditional loan processing, which, if you've ever dealt with it, is usually a tedious, fragmented 15 to 30-day ordeal, was completely transformed. Normally, customers submit documents, deal with missing info, and wait on slow manual verification. But by shifting from those static, manual workflows to an agentic processing approach, they squash that timeframe down to less than 2 days. I mean, that is a total game changer for any business.
So how exactly did they pull that off? Well, it's all about specialized architecture. Instead of one massive, confusing workflow, an intelligent orchestrator takes the customer's request and routes it to specific, highly focused agents. An inquiry agent answers initial questions, an intake agent jumps in to guide the user through any missing details, and doc and policy agents handle all the heavy lifting for verification. Because it uses guided determinism, they securely pass the exact context needed back and forth, creating one unified, hyper-fast customer experience. Finally, let's look under the hood in Section 5, Building the Next-Gen Broker. For all the developers, architects sitting there wondering, okay, how do I actually build these powerful multi-agent architectures myself? It really comes down to 2 incredible underlying tools. First up is AgentScript. It's an open source language that standardizes the reasoning engine, letting you seamlessly blend structured rules directly with AI reasoning. Second is MuleSoft Vibes. You can think of Vibes as your prompt-driven expert assistant. You literally just tell it what you want to build, and it scours your registry, finds the right agents and APIs, and builds the initial graph-based scaffolding right there for you. And the developer experience? It's truly hybrid, designed for however you work best. You literally get the best of both worlds. You have a visual canvas where you can drag and drop nodes and visually map out the edges connecting your agents. But if you prefer to get your hands dirty, you've got live coding for synchronous, real-time code editing using AgentScript. You can just seamlessly switch between writing code on one panel and watching the visual graph update live right next to it. We've covered a ton of ground today, right? From the absolute chaos of shadow AI to the elegant control of a unified plane. So I want to leave you with a question to reflect on. Are your AI agents running wild across your enterprise right now, or are you actively guiding their determinism? As AI continues its exponential scale, having that secure, unified control plane is going to be the major differentiator between the leaders and the laggards. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.